Hi everyone, my name's Mo, and it's time for me to make my walk away video. So let me preface why I walked away by telling you a little bit about my family history. My father is from Germany, or was from Germany, and he immigrated to the United States in the 50s, and my mother was a first generation born Italian. And her family immigrated, both of them legally, I might add. And my dad was very interesting. He was a mechanical engineer and designer by trade. He traveled and lived many different places, spoke quite a few different languages, and he literally studied every single religion and pretty much every culture. Before coming to the States, he went from Germany to Mexico and lived there for like 11 years and spoke fluent Spanish. He studied the Aztecs, the Toltecs, the Mayans. He knew everything about Egyptology. He worked for Aerojet Space Project in the 60s when we lived in California, where I was born. And he developed the tools to build the engine to the first Apollo spacecraft, working at Aerojet. So he was very knowledgeable, very open-minded, very spiritual. And he always used to tell me, I like the Republicans because they're less crooked than the Democrats. And I used to think, okay, great. I'm just going to take that with a grain of salt. And the other thing he used to always tell us is think for yourself. I can speak to the cows come home about what I've experienced, what I believe in life, but it's up to you to find your own truth. And we believe there's a creator, a God, definitely believe in Christ. And I also believe there have been many masters that have come on this earth to teach. Therefore, there's many different religions. So some people would argue the only way to get there is through Christ. I believe that's one path. I absolutely believe in Christ's teachings. However, I don't like the dogma of some religions that tell you how you have to think. I also don't like the fact that the party that I used to represent tries to shove a lot down other people's throats, and it's not very pretty. I have been sickened and angered by many things that I've discovered. But as a free thinker, I've been a Democrat for years and voted Democratic many times. I've also voted across party lines if I felt somebody could do a better job. So pretty much think for myself. However, I, was kind of confused about who I wanted to vote for when Trump was running against Hillary and Bernie was in the running. I was kind of leaning towards Bernie. Then after that, I'm like, okay, I'm jumping on the Hillary bandwagon. I was, I never did my homework. Put it that way, I never did my homework. So fast forward to Trump being elected. And I always admired him. I thought he was a very savvy business person. But being I've never been on the conservative end of things and thinking about maybe running a country as a business, and always thought, oh, we should take care of the disadvantaged people in a certain way. I just always felt like the Democratic Party, I was more in alignment with them. So I did not vote for Trump. I supported the DNC. I voted for Hillary. And then as time went on, I said to myself, I need to take a broader view. I have a conservative Republican cousin. And, I said to her, hey, I'm going to pull back. I'm going to take a broader look at things and really take a deep breath, because I feel like everything happens for a reason, and I'm going to make my own decisions about President Trump. And I started noticing the editing, if you will, and the skewing of what he said by the media. And that was my first, he says a lot that there's fake news. Maybe he's telling the truth. Hello. So I started paying closer attention. And then I started doing my homework. And as many of you would call it, I was red pilled. I went down the rabbit hole of finding out things, seeing things that you cannot unsee, that you cannot unknow. And most importantly, I looked at many sources. I digested the information. I pulled back and took a break and dove back in, and again checked in with my inner feelings about how do I really feel about all of this. And I can't think of enough adjectives to describe many of the things I felt, some of which are almost undescribable. Sickened is a good one. Very deeply sickened and disturbed by some things. Let's just put it this way. If you're a parent and you're giving your kids some advice, hopefully some sage advice, and let's say you're telling them, hey, this person over here has some great business savvy. Think you ought to follow them or pay attention to them or research them. Here's a list of people. And, like if you want to do better, hang around people who know more than you. Like I'm not saying you always have to look at just one viewpoint, but in general, if you want to be a good person, you're going to hang around good people. If you want to be a knowledgeable person, you're going to seek people that you resonate with, that you align with. And, you are who you surround yourself with. Bottom line, I tell my kids that all the time. You are who you surround yourself with. If you want to end up being in trouble, hang out with a bunch of thugs. Sure enough, they're going to do something stupid and you're going to end up in trouble. If you want to be successful, hang out and study successful people, right? So the fact that certain people have done certain things, I don't know, like I'd say my artwork is pretty basic, like cool, hip, maybe a little boho chic thrown in there, but not creepy. Creepy as in I would question what the hell's going through your head kind of creepy. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Do your research. Do your research. And I don't have to see everything laid out before me to start to go, something is not quite feeling right here. Something is amiss. Something is actually quite effed up. And then when you look at the bigger picture, you start to go, wow, this is just really all connected. We are all connected. Everything's connected. And I have many liberal friends, people who are still with the Democratic Party. Actually, one of my very best friends and roommates from, when we were teenagers, I talk to her all the time. She's been at plenty of rally, having stupid Trump faces on, dogging him. Okay, I still love her, even though I think she needs to wake the fuck up, but I still love her. However, I just think some of the people on the left are way out of control with their violence, with the fact that they're not even willing to take a back seat and a broader view of things and really look at some of the things that Trump is trying to do. I bought into the rhetoric of, only reason he's trying to close down the borders is to keep, the bad people out, supposedly, but really that means he hates all immigrants, which isn't the truth. And, you know, I think to stop trafficking is a big part of it because it's pretty rampant everywhere. I mean, the statistics are there.